Since Caleigh and Sara cannot behave, listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Nacho Fitness Coach,
the podcast where fitness is more about fun than form.
I'm Sara, the fitness expert who lifts heavy and loves a good challenge.
And I'm Caleigh, a newbie who runs more for survival than sport.
We're here to remind you that fitness doesn't have to be serious,
but we definitely take the snacks seriously.
So if you're looking for some laughs and a few questionable fitness tips,
you've come to the right place. Welcome to season 5. Hey, welcome back to Nacho Fitness Coach, the podcast where selling pictures of our feet is always the backup plan. I'm Caleigh, and next to me is my co-host Sara. Do you want to tell them the sad news?
I have sad news.
You want me to?
I do
no,
not.
It's fine. I'll go ahead and tell them. I know it's unfortunately, Sarah's OnlyFans account recently got suspended because she refused to take her clothes off. So, that's a sad day.
Let's just be clear. I do not have an OnlyFans account, although I do have enough.
Yeah, you don't anymore.
I do have probably enough actually content that I probably could, but we're not going to go there. That's from another life.
Anyway, RIP to that account. Sorry for all of you subscribers, myself included.
Oh, shoot. Well, you know.
Anyway.
All right. So, Caleigh,
today. What?
We have, which I know you love white papers and research articles.
I'm already so bored with this.
We have one to talk about.
Okay.
That was published on PubMed, which is a reputable source for information.
So fun.
About, medical journal type stuff. So
yeah.
Here is what the title for how the PubMed article reads. Fundamentals or icing on top of the cake.
Oh, I like cake.
Right. So there we go. A narrative review of recovering strategies and devices for athletes. And so, here's the abstract. The sport and athletic performance industry has seen a plethora of new recovery devices, technologies over the years, and it's been somewhat difficult for athletes, coaches, practitioners to navigate the efficacy of such devices and whether they're even required at all. With the increase in recovery device tools, it's also become a commonplace for athletes to overlook the more traditional, well-established recovery strategies. And so it kind of goes into, all right, we've got foam rolling, compression garments, cryotherapy, photobiomodulation, hydrotherapy, active recovery, high levels of positive influence from, sauna, sleeves, occlusion cuffs. I can't speak tonight. Massage guns, lower levels of evidence, and mixed results with their efficacy. So anyways, one that caught my attention because of the cake reference, right?
Yeah.
Which I knew that you would enjoy. But what it goes into is, this was actually, I think, female soccer players. Well, maybe not. Who was the actual keywords? Cold water immersion, compression, ice baths, massage guns, sports performance. So it kind of goes into a plethora of topics I feel like we have discussed at one point or another.
Yeah.
That this is specifically like maybe more athletes, but I also feel like some of this is blended over. Adults are doing some of these things. Adults also do athletic type activities.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up running 5Ks, for example, pickleball, golf.
Right.
So whether or not you consider yourself an athlete as in like a traditional sense of, hey, while I was in high school, I played basketball. Even into adulthood, you are doing athletic type activity for social outlets, whatever, you're moving.
Mm-hmm.
So some of this over. So anyways, it just kind of goes into, and there's actually then a bunch of references, 98 references that went into this paper. But it has this graphic, which I thought was really kind of interesting because it takes a cupcake and it shows you the fundamentals of what should be your foundation
okay.
versus the fluff that's on top, and just trying to reinforce that you don't want to start flipping things around because it's kind of a recipe for disaster.
Right.
So at the bottom of their cupcake is sleep, nutrition, and periodization. So what that means is sleep, which we've discussed more than once. Nutrition we talk about a lot. And what periodization is referring to is just your overall strategy for your workouts.
Okay.
You know, weightlifting activities versus cardiovascular activities, how you're kind of organizing any kind of workout structure, you know, and then how it's basically all the rest of this stuff is just icing on top of the cake. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's got the saunas, the massage, the float tanks, the massage guns.
Right. So it's not necessarily bad stuff.
But if you don't have a cake to put your icing on,
I mean,
you could just eat spoonfuls of that, I guess.
I've been known to stick a spoon into it. To the frosting.
It's fine. Everyone does it at least once, right? But, you know, it's just, okay, it's a visual that is just kind of reiterating things that I feel like we always already know, but it's just human nature to look for like a shortcut.
Yeah, you can get a little bit lost in all the new shiny.
Yes, all the
stuff.
new devices, you know, the hydrotherapy, the stretching, you know, the cryotherapy chambers, compression garments.
What is occlusion cuffs?
You wear them like
Thank you.
on your describe them. Why don't you ask ChatGPT how to describe you? But you wear them like on your limbs.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's what I'm picturing is that they're referring to. Google it really quick. Float tanks, massage, you know, so I don't know. I think it's just a really great thing, just as a visual aid to see that you just have to understand that sleep, nutrition, and what you're doing with workouts are definitely your foundation, right? All the rest of the stuff is nice, but if we are not making sure that we're getting that stuff in first, the rest of it, I mean, those are kind of your non-negotiables.
Right.
And then beyond that, it's like, okay, fine. If it makes you feel good, or if it incorporates part of your routine to help you like relax and get to sleep, okay, that's one thing. But, you know, don't skip out on the important stuff. It also goes to the saying, you know, I have a presentation that I do on one of the slides as I found a jar, the big rocks theory, right? Where if you have 5 big rocks and then just a bunch of like either sand or a bunch of pebbles, if you put pour the pebbles in first and layer it down to the bottom of the jar, your big rocks will not fit.
Right.
But if you make sure your big rocks are in first and then pour the little things in around it, it'll settle down into the cracks and all of a sudden everything will fit into your jar, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, just picturing between this cupcake image, a jar like that, you know, the big rocks matter. And then what's going to make the bigger difference for you. So was I picturing the right thing?
Yeah, this is pretty intense. These occlusion cuffs. It's kind of like a blood pressure cuff.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it like.
Is it pulsing probably to try to.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It doesn't
stuff around.
Actually. Ensure the occlusion cuff is fully deflated. Wrap the cuff as high up the limb as possible. Should be medium tightness and wrap neatly in line. Close the pump valve by turning clockwise, but don't over tighten. Inflate the cuff to the individualized pressure. It's recommended that the individual's limb occlusion pressure is measured using a Doppler ultrasound.
Oh, so this is like lab stuff. Just don't do it at home.
I don't have time for. No, this is do it at home.
Oh, it is do it at home?
Yeah, it says purchase a Doppler ultrasound.
Oh my word.
This is crazy.
Just more money. Just buy more devices.
Yeah. Oh, precautions. Consult with your doctor before.
But I also feel like the marketing for all of these always ends up being just buy this new shiny thing first. You don't have to worry about the other stuff.
Right.
It's always about business and they're trying to sell you something new.
Why use the occlusion cuff? Increase muscle mass, strength, and endurance at training loads of 20 to 30%.
Because you're wearing a cuff?
RM.
What?
Yeah, no greater health risk than traditional exercise. Prevents or slows atrophy during periods of immobilization. I don't know what any of that means.
Well, of immobilization, but that means you're not working out or moving.
Oh.
That's weird. That's not an inflatable sleeve. That's different than the occlusion cuff because those are both listed on here as shiny objects that totally looks like a blood pressure cuff.
Yeah.
Do an inflatable sleeve. See what that says. I mean, foam rolling is also in here. Foam rolling can be kind of a nice warm up, you know, but yeah.
It's going to be like water floaties.
If you're not doing the rest of it, so it doesn't matter.
I think I need to be more specific.
I mean, you want...
Like there's an inflatable sleeve for wine.
Okay, so with that, we're going to take just a quick little ad break. So Caleigh, what if I told you you could finally have me but not have to pay for me?
Did you finally start an OnlyFans account?
No, that you have to pay for.
Oh.
What I'm talking about is free access to all my curriculum, online modules, and ebooks on sarasutherlandfitness.com.
Wow.
You just go to the website in the top right, click log in, create an account. You will get access to all of the content that I use in my coaching programs for free.
Is that available for us guys too?
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. You go ahead and you log in too. Create your account, and as long as you create your access before December 31st, you'll have lifetime access to all the content that I use in my coaching program. So are you going to go on?
I'm going right now.
And log in, sarasutherlandfitness.com. Click login, create an account today.
All right, we're back.
Well, what do you say for like, should you say for athlete or athletic performance or athlete recovery? Maybe? I don't know.
Athletic. Okay. We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, like an inflatable leg compression sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's all it's doing
lymphatic
is doing,
drainage massage.
Oh. That's what it's doing. I feel like some of that stuff would just feel good.
$250.
I mean, if we would add up probably everything, but I mean, think
not
about
in this economy,
think of how much a cryotherapy chamber session probably costs. What do you think, like $60 for a session?
I'm also not doing that.
I know. Well, we kind of for a hot minute said, would we try that?
For the content. We get paid so much from this podcast that we just like, we don't know what to do with all the money, you know?
We just bought our own cryotherapy chamber. Just kidding. Oh
It's
my
in the next room.
gosh.
It's next to our brand new studio that we just bought with all the money we make.
It also does have massage guns on here, which we do have a massage gun that I absolutely do really love, mostly because our 3-year-old can help us get like
Sure.
our shoulders.
I have a question.
Yeah.
These white papers,
Yeah.
you just look through these
Read them for fun.
in your spare time?
I mean, they usually will pop up from people that I follow that tend to enjoy the research side of it, you know, so
Wow.
I don't scroll through PubMed intentionally, but I do have, you know, my circle of influence.
Here's what would
people.
happen if, let's say, I saw that image of the cupcake and that caught my interest.
Yeah.
And like, say I clicked on that and it
You'd
took
be like,
me
what flavor is the ice cream?
Yeah. And it took me to this. And I'm like, there's no order now button.
I'm so confused.
No, if it took me to this, I'd be like, oh, I'm in the wrong place.
You're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, I would
now
not
I got
be
redirected
like,
to
now
a
I'm
research paper.
Yeah, now I'm going to read this and see. I just wouldn't. And that's fine. That's the difference between you and I. You are smart and
I don't know about that.
I would never read this.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I just feel like it makes sense. And again, I think that the people that
Had you not explained to me what, like in simple terms, what you just read? Like when you were reading that, I was like,
no, not there. Not there at all.
But I would have put it, I mean, maybe put it in ChatGPT to explain it to me like I'm 5.
Yeah, we could. You know what? Can you copy and paste in that URL and will it say explain this article to me like
I
I'm
was
5?
telling you earlier, I think off air I was telling you about that Notebook LM where you can upload a document and it will generate a podcast.
Right. Yeah, which is wild.
A 2-person back and forth.
Yeah, with audio and everything.
Yes.
They just like discuss it.
So weird.
Yeah,
So
you know,
could do that.
Show details, high details, full. I really want the full thing. And because I can't link to it right now for some reason, it's not letting me, but if I had to guess, I'm guessing the people that they actually like did this study with is probably, Australian. So in Australia, and they probably had younger athletes doing it. So of course there's some differences in, you know, young persons versus older, but at the same time, I also feel like a lot of the strategies apply. I feel like as we get older, we look more for shortcuts. When we're young and able, we just listen to whatever adults are telling us to do and we focus. So it's, you know, making sure we're giving them that understanding of what's really important. But, you know, we do athletic things as adults and we need to treat our bodies in that same way and just don't look for the quick fixes. Don't go through and just try the next fatty thing that fatty, bad diet,
Faddish.
I mean, because is it still the cold baths? Do we still consider that a fad? Like the ice baths?
Yeah.
I mean, because I do feel like the infrared and the sauna stuff was kind of hot for a while. And then I feel like the ice baths took over from that.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to talk about just eating your broccoli,
get your
sleeping,
sleep.
drink your water, and pick up heavy shit. Like, that's too boring. That's too simple. Why would we actually ever do something that simple that can't possibly be?
I know nobody wants to hear it.
All that it really is.
Honestly, I don't want to hear it. Like, you know,
it's
because it sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. You know what? Again, this is why not everyone walks around looking like a fitness model, because it is not easy to do, especially in our culture, our society. It's not. And, you know, adult bullying happens. If you try to start doing some of that simple stuff for yourself, people get real nasty about it. Or, you know, it's like, oh, just have that cake at
have that piece of cake.
10 a.m. Hit this birthday party, for goodness sakes. I mean,
I'm like, I'm over here trying to do something for once in my life, and I got this bully.
Just eat the stupid cake.
Okay, so while you were yammering on,
ranting,
I pulled up that notebook LM.
Yeah.
And I just copy and pasted that text that you just read.
Yeah.
To generate a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So I think we're still connected to the.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's going to play the actual audio and everything
It's
too.
5 minutes. I'm not going to obviously play the whole thing, but.
Okay. Let's hear what it says.
Like a snippet.
Okay.
So, athlete recovery.
Right.
Everyone's looking for that edge.
Yeah.
Ice baths, compression suits, cryotherapy chambers, some next level stuff.
It is.
But how do we know what actually works?
Right.
That's what we're diving into today.
Love it.
We're looking at the science behind these recovery strategies.
Okay.
And we've got a research review that breaks it all down.
Excellent.
It ranks these methods by how much evidence there is to back them up.
I like it. So we're separating fact from like just trends.
Exactly. From those recovery fads.
Okay. Got it.
So you can focus on what
No, I want to hear what it says.
Just put us out of a job.
What does it say? Keep going.
really makes a difference.
Makes sense.
So, evidence. Think of it like detective work.
Okay.
Got to know what's reliable. And scientists, they have this thing. It's called the hierarchy of scientific evidence.
A hierarchy, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid.
Okay.
And at the very top, the strongest evidence, you've got meta-analyses.
It's the analyses.
Yeah, they combine data from a ton of studies.
So like the best of the best. Okay.
The all-stars. And then as you go down the pyramid, the evidence, it gets a little, less solid.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, you've got case studies. Those focus on just one person.
Right.
So let's start at the top, those recovery methods with the most research backing them up.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I know.
Foam rolling, compression garments,
Yeah.
cryotherapy, yes, the ice baths, photobiomodulation,
Now we're getting fancy.
hydrotherapy,
Classic.
and active recovery
You want me to keep going?
are the MVPs of the recovery game. What's really interesting is why these methods are so effective.
Yeah.
So take foam rolling, for example. It's not
I don't
know. Massaging. So
Alan, so I'm going to
crazy.
fill Alan in because he just walked in the room. Alan, what you just heard was that AI podcast.
Really?
I just took the text that she was reading earlier. I just copy and pasted it into Notebook LM, and it generated a 2-person like back and forth podcast.
Which you just created now.
Yeah, she's literally copied in the URL,
Took 2 minutes.
pushed click and generate.
And it generated a 5-minute podcast.
Are we done recording now?
I was like, oh, all right.
We don't have to do this no more.
Signing
We're done.
off. We'll see y'all later. Like that is wild.
It is.
I mean, I was not expecting for it to actually be that good.
I know. It's freaky.
I mean, you can kind of tell.
It kind of sounds like real people.
It kind of does. I mean, the one person totally sounded like you just be like, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Right on.
Especially when we're talking about white paper.
Yeah.
You just like glaze over.
Oh.
But that hasn't learned us at all, because that was a totally different tool than ChatGPT, who's gotten all of our transcripts. So that is just something that you literally pulled up, linked it in, and said, generate this podcast.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yep. That's where we're at.
Oh, my word. Wow.
So, I mean, I guess, maybe if I wanted to start dipping my toe a little bit in some white paper,
analysis.
And now, yeah,
You could
I could just turn it into because I love a good podcast.
You do. That's true.
You just created one.
Right. Well, then that's a good way. I mean, so the conversation we had recently at our house is when we were painting this room, the only audio that we could agree on to play while we were painting is the Hamilton soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe time for a little quick ad break. If you have something to share with us or even suggest a new topic idea, email us at nachofitnesscoach@gmail.com.
Okay, we're back.
And so we were listening to Hamilton as we were painting that morning. And so I got home and I was, filling my husband in on the day and what we accomplished and everything. And I was like, you really would like that musical, is what I told him. I was like, you really actually.
Oh, he's never seen it?
No.
Oh.
I was like, you would really like that musical. And so then I was like, I maybe would have paid attention more to history.
I love history.
In high school, if it would have been delivered to me in this fashion.
Yeah.
I am not a textbook reader. My attention span and my reading comprehension skills are not super great.
We know this.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, but if every lesson could have just been delivered
as a musical,
yeah,
that's
I
probably
probably
now.
know a lot more about American history.
Yeah.
But now we could just plug it into this, just say, hey, make me a podcast of
That's true.
this, and I'd maybe learn it better.
I told you about when I was in Oklahoma a few weeks ago with some friends. Mm-hmm. I'll just tell everybody.
Yeah. Share it.
I've been telling this group of friends. We went down for a wedding, and I've been telling them for years, like, we're gonna have a night where I invite you guys over. We're gonna watch Hamilton.
I still can't believe had never watched it.
I
either,
can't.
right?
It's a travesty when you really think about it. But
Have you seen Hamilton? Oh, okay. Oh man, it is. The problem is when people hear Broadway musical, they don't understand.
No, I love it. No, so I've been telling them I'm going to invite them over to watch Hamilton, and it's just never got done. So we were staying at an Airbnb down in Oklahoma, and after the wedding, we'd been drinking and stuff. Back to the Airbnb, and I'm like, a couple of them were not ready for bed. I wasn't ready for bed. I'm like, listen, guys, let's watch Hamilton finally. But I'm like, I don't want to, we're not just going to just watch Hamilton. We're going to watch Hamilton the way I want to watch Hamilton, which is I want to be able to sing and dance, obviously. And I want to be able to stop it and explain what's going on because I know my Hamilton,
Right. Yes, you do.
And they indulged me. They let me do this. It took us 4 hours to watch. It's 2.5 hours?
Isn't it closer to 3, I think?
I think it's 2.5.
Okay.
And it was great, but those bitches fell asleep right as Hamilton and Burr were starting to duel. Like they barely made it through A. Burr song.
Mm-hmm. That one was stuck in my head for a while after we listened.
Yeah. So, but it was great. That's how I always want to watch Hamilton. I want to be able to sing and dance and really just act it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I had fun the other day painting with you and listening to Hamilton.
I did too. I will listen to Hamilton. I actually, we still have season tickets to the Chiefs. So I'm on the road to Kansas City when there's home games. And that has actually been kind of my playlist for the past couple of trips down to Kansas City is because I actually zone out.
It's a good one.
I'll listen. I mean, I obviously will put on my metal playlist and kind of jam out to that stuff too. But that is also a good one too because I know most of the words.
Yeah.
And you gotta kind of get into it a little bit.
I know all the words.
I know. Well, I probably actually know more than I think that I do if I actually. But
it's a good one. Fine, I'll watch Hamilton again.
Fine, you talked me into it. Oh, I still mull over the fact that I missed my chance to go see the original cast. That was bad. I have made some questionable decisions in my life, and that's definitely one of them that,
Right. We all have regrets.
We do, and that's definitely one. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine, but it is a great musical.
It is.
It's rapping mostly. If you don't know enough about Hamilton,
listen,
it is worth it.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is
a genius.
Lyrical genius.
He's composed it all too.
You really listen to
I know.
He's like the Eminem of Broadway.
But he composed all of it too. He didn't just write the lyrics. He did all of the music. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's wild how that man's mind works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he's been a musical genius his entire life. He
wrote all the music for Moana
and for Encanto.
Encanto.
Yeah, so Disney got a hold of him.
Yeah.
Which is how Hamilton ended up on the Disney app or whatever.
We should have him on as a guest.
You think he'd get? You know what? Actually, some of my favorite
Because that has nothing to do with fitness.
is that the James Corden, whoever does the car rides with the songs.
Oh, James Corden.
James Corden. But he has one where he did Lin-Manuel Miranda in his car with him, and it's actually pretty funny. And they're good. He's good.
Like I said, fine. I'll watch Hamilton.
Yeah,
again.
I will never say no to that. I'll carve out time.
I love that we have that in common.
Yes,
we don't
and
have
I'll
a lot,
sit. No,
especially musically.
that would actually be one too that I would sit and not move for.
Yeah.
Sometimes I struggle with sitting in one spot for 2 hours if it's not going to be holding my attention. But that one I would.
But do you actually sit, or do you need to act it out?
No, I sit.
Oh no, I have to.
Oh, that'd be kind of entertaining.
You want to watch it with me sometime?
Maybe we should try.
We'll go live.
That's going to be behind the scenes subscriber content that we keep saying that we're going to do.
Like when Wait For It comes on. No, my ass is not on the couch.
No. Wait for it.
Oh my God.
Oh, yikes. Okay, well, I don't really know how we ended up there.
What's this episode about? White papers. That's why. Yeah. That's why. Because did you think we were going to talk about a fucking white paper for 30 minutes?
But it had a cupcake image on it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good,
It was a stretch, but it was fine. I
tried.
see where you were going.
No,
I appreciate the overall message, and you're right.
So be more of the cake.
Be more of the cake.
The frosting is just frosting on the top. I mean,
but the frosting's fine too.
You can have as much frosting as you want as long as you've got the cake to put it on.
Sure.
So there we go. That's the message for today.
You're right.
So we'll stick with that.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah. You want to go watch Hamilton now?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, no.
Okay.
Maybe we'll make a date for that though. But yes. Well, maybe we'll have to play a song just for Alan because he doesn't know what we're talking about. We'll maybe do that. Sure. Okay. See, there we go. Okay. Done. All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to head over to our Instagram at Nacho Fitness Coach and let us know how you feel about the topic. Do you love it or hate it?
Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. And if you like our podcast, leave us a rating. See you next time.
You've been listening to Euphony Innovatives Sonified.